Hi all, Hal here with more Space Engineers. So the wife is out of the house, the dog is passed out, and we've got a lot of stuff to do in Space Engineers today. First, we have to get started, so let's go. So happy Friday, everybody. Hopefully you're having a fantastic week and a terrific Friday. I am taking advantage of the midweek alone time to get all sorts of stuff done in Space Engineers. One of the things that we've done is I've gone ahead and, we were talking about renovating the living space of the LCC3. And so that's what we've done is we've now got the beds, we've put a desk over here, we got a little kitchenette in, replaced all of the bed alcoves with actual beds. So part of the reason of this is that if you want to make, because I am going to make this ship available on the workshop when we're done, because we've been doing a completely vanilla playthrough, everybody should be able to use everything in here without a problem. It will be, well, if you're building it, it's going to be a hell of a lot more expensive than the LCC3 default because of the changes that we've made. But yeah, so you now have a little seating area instead of the railing overlooking the windows here. And we put the bathroom block in. So with the 3 beds, this gives you the ability to have a crew of 4. So even if you're hosting this on a local multiplayer or local hosting a multiplayer map, when your friends are online, well, when they're not available, they can leave their bodies here and not have to worry because we're not using the cryopods in this particular build. Coming down here, let's head out to the cargo area. So I haven't made any changes out here yet, but what we're planning on doing is we want to go ahead and strip off a lot of thrusters. Basically, we're going to be breaking down pretty much all of the little winglet areas on both sides, and probably I may actually take these completely off. And then pull these thrusters out. And the reason for it is we're going to be putting a small hangar space in, and I'm not sure if the hangar is going to come back to here-ish. Or let's bring that up. So I don't know if I want to bring the hangar back here or bring it all the way back and have the rec areas looking into the hangar space. There's pros and cons to both decisions, but I'm not sure which way I want to take it. Now, one of the things that I did do is while we were off cameras, I went ahead and did a little bit of experimentation. It's been a long day. And I'm thinking that this is where we're going to throw the refineries. And as you can see, obviously that's going to cause a little bit of problem because if we do this on both sides, what we're going to have to deal with is that we've got thrusters there. And while, yes, they are small ion thrusters, losing 2 of those is not an insignificant thing, even if we have boosted the total propulsion because we have the hydrogen thrusters on here. So what I'm thinking is that we will probably have hangars because we're going to take these, like I said, we're going to take the winglets off. And one of the benefits to having the system set up the way that it is, you know what we could do? Oh, that might actually be kind of cool too. Okay, so do I have any plates on me? I have a couple of plates. We're about to have a couple more. Okay. So what I'm thinking here, and we're just going to use these as placeholders, is doing something. Actually, if we were to go, say, something like that. So what I'm thinking here is that we have the hangars set up so that we want these to be 5 blocks. You're a freighter, not going to worry about you. And then we have, say, something like this, because what this will allow us to do is, again, these are just placeholders. Don't overthink what we're doing. That is a weird detail. That's a really weird detail. Did they do that on all sides? No, just there. So why did they do that? I mean, it's an interesting detail. But, interesting. I'll have to go check. I'm going to have to pull this ship apart. So what we're talking about here, sorry, I know I keep getting distracted. And then we end up with something. Come here, you. So yeah, so we end up with something along these lines where we have the hangar space like this. Now I'm not saying that the hangar will be on this level. The hangar might actually be down here-ish for height. Let me see, that's 1, 2, 3. So if we go something like that, and we go 2, 3, 4. Flip that around like that. That becomes 5. So the question is will things like the Scout or the Miner fit in there? So I think the Miner is the widest ship that we have right now. The Scout might. No, I think the Miner is actually. They're about the same width. Let's see. So if we do that, turn that on.
Fuel.
So what we're trying to see is to make sure we have enough room for this ship to get in without having any real problems. Right. Yeah, that should actually be big enough. Okay, so that'll be that's definitely big enough for, you know, the Scout. So let's bring you down here then. Latch that in, hopefully.
No fuel.
That's fine. Okay, so we turn all of that off. At some point I will actually put that on the connector to charge up. So we are going to set you, and again we want to just check to make sure that these are going to fit. This one might be a little tighter than expected. No, looks like it's going to be about the same as the Scout. So yes, okay, so that will be enough room. And then how far back does it need to go? So that's going to be the back wall. So we could actually make this kind of a pocket hangar space. And if we make this tall enough, we'll be able to, actually, because if we go like so, right, So if we do something like that, and we make this 4 blocks, make the entrance 4 blocks tall, we should have enough room to be able to maneuver multiple ships in. That could be something. Okay. Let's go with that idea. So let's go here. I'll go ahead and park this really quick. Okay. So if we do that, and then we say... two... 1, 2, 3, 4... So we'd end up with something along these lines for it's actually not a bad idea if we use that. So you end up with a hangar about like that on the front. That actually, what's that kind of look like line-wise? I don't know. Because I'm thinking here is that if we're going to do that, let's change you out. So we have something that looks like it attaches it a little bit better. Now what we'll do is we can then, if we take you guys out, put you back there. Okay, so this will be hangar doors. Alright, so we will end up with let's do this really quick. Smart ass. Okay. So you'd end up with something along these lines. So you would be there. You'd be there, and then we go. And then just to make sure. Yes, okay, so that will. Yes, okay, so that'll seal. And then basically we'll run these back to this area, which means this is going to come out. Again, we're just using some of this as more or less placeholder stuff. I have to put that in there. So we would go, how would we do this? We'd want you to go that way, maybe. And then thinking let's bring this back. Just trying to get an idea here for how we would do this. Because if we want to leave that stuff there, And how far? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Which would give us 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So, no, bring that back. 5. And then what I'm thinking here is that we have, I don't know if would we, I'm trying to decide on whether or not I want to have it set up with this whole walkway idea. Because if we do this right, we won't even have to move those batteries. We'll be able to leave the batteries there. And even add a couple of more. We could actually have like a add 4 more batteries on this on both sides. Oh, that could be a thing. So I'm thinking on the interior, what you would see is, say, get that out. And then you'd have let's go say battery, 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 battery. Yeah, that might be something. If we do that, then we can. Don't want to. I almost cut that out of there. Oh, that would have been funny. So if we do that, we're just gonna throw one of you in there for a second to hold it while we take that out. And then we go, I don't know. How would we want to do that? So we did that. So do that. To there, maybe? And how about if we then did something like this? Flip those in there like so. Yeah, I'm kind of liking that actually. I think I like that. Alright, so we take that out, take that out, and we repeat what we did over on the other side. So we have that. Alright, so flip you there, flip you there. And then basically what this will allow us to do is we'll have a forward hangar and maybe an aft hangar, or at least some form of like engineering section. Might even replace the propulsion area. because since we have the outriggers here, and we're going to be adding a significant amount of mass, I'm thinking that we may end up changing this to be more of an outrigger, well, more of an engine nacelle than anything else. And that definitely opens up some potential. And then that means we don't have to move the batteries. So let's take this stuff apart. Alright. So let's go ahead and drop all of this.
Inventory full.
My inventory is not full. Betty, you lied to me. Alright.
Energy low.
Alright. That's a true statement. Oh, hello. This is damn thruster components. Okay. You out of there. Alright, so I'm going to go ahead and grind this down, the rest of this stuff down, since we have 2 more thrusters. And I'm thinking we are going to change up, like I said, we're going to change up some of the stuff here in the middle. Basically turn this into a passageway. And what this will allow us to do is to be able, I'm stuck, is to be able to see the batteries. And what we'll have is we'll probably end up with windows here to block this area in. Yeah, I'm kind of liking this idea. Now, I'm not going to be able to put windows here because of the thrusters, or because of the window that's already there. So what we'll need to do is I will probably do windows on the floor. I don't know. Let's take that out for a second. Give us a little bit more headroom in here. How do I want to do this? I mean, I could even just leave this open. Which we might do. What I'm thinking here is I might
Energy critical.
do something like that. Which would then require us to pull some of this stuff out. This conveyor block right there. So if we did this. Actually,
No energy.
that's bad. Come here. Alright, so I think that gives us an idea. Let me see what that line looks like. Ooh, I like that. I think I like that line. Alright, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to do a quick cut. Get charged back up, get everything refilled, or like our hydrogen and everything. And get the winglets on both sides ground down. And when we come back, we'll continue working on the hangars. But let me go ahead and get the prep work done, and that way when we come back, we can spend some time working on these hangars and maybe planning the engine nacelles. Yeah, sounds like an idea. Okay, so we'll do the quick cut, and I will be right back. And we're back. All right, so we've got an idea of what we're planning here. Now, one of the things that I need to be careful of is that I do want the hangar space to be pressurized. So if we're planning on this area maybe being our industrial, like part of our industrial planning, with the engine nacelles, well, I should say, and becoming part of an engine nacelle or an engine array on both port and starboard, that means we can pretty much plan on this, for the most part, being sealed, right? So do we want to have it, because that's going to be doors, so it's going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We could do a blister style hangar. Maybe. That might actually work. Because that's going to be the floor. So what we're thinking about here, and move you, let's grab you. And we want this to be airtight. Steel plate, of course we do. We always need steel plates. Alright. So what we're thinking here is we want something like so. Actually, no. You would be where it would end. And we'd be doing something like this. So let's do that. That. So we end up with something that looks kind of like that. Since that's going to be our door, might need to do this instead. And then with these we bring out. And the question is will this be enough space since we're doing this 2, 3, 4. I might need to widen this up because we want to have docking areas in here. So time to check our spacing. Should always come back and check every once in a while when you're doing these types of builds. Mainly because of the fact that you're just not always going to be sure exactly what your spacing is going to look like. Let's get above that. So it never hurts to double check your assumptions. Alright, so if we do... So basically it looks like we'll have enough room. Yeah, we'll have enough room to have this thing basically dock in here. But these are gonna end up being, yeah, I think that's gonna end up being a single vehicle hangar, which is fine. I don't mind. I actually don't mind having that. Where we have the difficulty is that I really want to have a place where I can connect this thing up. So what I could do is I could either make this taller, which might not be a bad idea, but that would definitely change up the perspective on this. Because if I make this taller, I would increase it by 2 blocks. The reason for that being is so that there would be enough room to get the ships in and out. And basically have a dual, like 2 floors of hangar space. That would give me, you know, an area to dock on both sides. And then increasing it, basically extending it out 1 more block. Because if I extend it out 1 more block, what I'll be able to do is I'll be able to mount a connector into the floor. Yeah, I'm thinking that's what we're gonna do. I think we'll, let me see here. So if we, it's under the cockpit, so it would have to be effectively right there. That's where the connector would end up being. And I mean, if I went with heavy armor on the outer wall, that might not be a problem. We got 4 hours of burn time while it's sitting there. Because if we basically take you out, let's put a connector in. So what we end up with is a connector there. And to make that airtight, we want, let me grab a plate. Look at that, we have some plates, okay. And then we would just run this, I think we were saying we were gonna run it this way. So let's go ahead, do that. And so what we're talking about doing is having this, oh, that would be kind of interesting. I just thought about having this set up so that there's the piping there, and having a window in front of it, based off of the block in front, so you'd be able to see the tubing. But that would defeat some of the purpose here. There'll be a conveyor there because we're going to replace the connector with a conveyor tube. Now, remember, the idea is that this is going to be a pressurized hangar space. So So you're gonna end up with basically this. And so we're gonna have to go, if we want to keep that line, we can keep the line. So yeah, we're gonna have to do a conveyor connector there. I guess we could do something like that. If this whole thing is going to be piped in, so I'm guessing something like this then. That brings us down into the hangar. We have the ship, which will be connected to that connector. Yeah, I think that'll work. But that does allow us to bring the height down a little bit. So that's going to be 1, 2, and then the ceiling, if we want it to go half height, it would be there. And I would add a block there. And that would give us a dual layer hangar. I mean, I guess I could just, if that comes out, that's going to be a door. If we take this out for a second, this is just so I can get a better idea here. That'll be there. No, because I'd want them, I think I'd want both of these to be pressurized. So what we could do then is, no, I don't want to. It's our reactors, gyros. Let's see here. Oh, that would cut off our ability to get in and out of the ship, which would be bad. I mean, I guess I could. Yeah, 'cause I guess that if we did it this way, like if we did multiple floors, each floor would have to have its own way in and out, or the entire hangar, both layers would be pressurized together. So if you had either side open, you wouldn't be able to. Because I'd want to be able to get through unobstructed between the two layers, and trying to figure out how to do that. I guess we're just using this as a placeholder for right now. What's funny is I'm basically going to have to rebuild all of this anyway because I'm going to be changing most of the exterior of the hangars to heavy armor blocks. Oh. But I mean, I guess we could just say hell with it and have it be a single layer. Because if we do single layer, let's see what that would look like. Alright, so if we did a single layer here, the question is what I want. Say that might work. Because if we did single layer, your forward line is going to look like that. This line I'd probably continue this way. Make sure that that's not attached, okay? And I would probably do... Yeah, I'll probably do windows up here to cover this, just to seal that in, and see if we can get it airtight that way. Because what I may need to end up doing is I may need to pressure capsule this entire thing. I mean, it's very possible that we end up with this not being pressurized. I mean, I'm not completely, you know, I don't think it'd be a requirement. It would just be nice to have an area that we'd be able to work on the ship. Like if we needed to work on something, being able to do that would be nice. Let's drop you for a second. And if we did that, again, just using this as stopgap.
Energy low.
Maybe we could maybe do something like that for a little bit of visual interest. 'Cause you know how I feel about the giant open areas of space here, like giant flat areas. That gives me a better idea what we're going to be looking at here. Yeah, that might, I think that will actually work. And what we'll do is, since we have 2, 3, yes. And then what we can do is say something like this, which breaks up that ridiculously large flat space, which I just absolutely I just really cannot stand having giant flat spaces like that. I wonder if we were... Let's take this out for a second. 1, 2. Right, so we then say
Energy critical.
yes, I know. My energy is always critical. I think I said that earlier, didn't I? Somebody do that. There. Alright, so...
No energy.
Oh, oh. Alright. I'm thinking that the hangar is going to be a little bit tight. And what we'll do is we'll do corner lights up in the upper edges on both sides to give us our lighting. Yeah, I think this is going to work. Take that out for right now. How many blocks, or how many plates I have? Just so you can all see what this is going to potentially look like. Yeah, I'm kind of liking that. I might change up the spacing on this. 1, 2. That would be there. So it would be descending, flat space, ascending, wrapping, maybe. Okay. I'll have to think about that a little bit. But that would give us a hangar. Would give us a place to actually connect so that this thing could charge in here. We'll also have it piped in because we'll run piping under here. Let's see, I do still have interior plates. So what we'd be talking about doing is drop that for a second. That would come out. So you'd basically have that, and we'll end up with the same thing on the other side. So that'll give us a bit of balance on it. Yeah, I'm thinking that might work. Now it does have the problem of basically extending the bottom of the ship down. that does solve several problems for us. And what we can do back here is we end up with steel plates. Actually, do we have an assembler? I don't know if we actually have an assembler on here right now. I mean, I know we've got the parts because we took the other ship apart, so yeah. So we do have it. We've got 2 assemblers. All right. So we already have assemblers, so we don't have to worry about putting assemblers in. So we could put a second refinery in. Give us 4 refineries. Just make this thing a ridiculous production ship. But then we do run into the landing gear slash... Because the idea is that we want to be able to bring this thing into an atmosphere. So I guess we could do some reconstruction back here. Because we kind of want to protect the jump drive and everything as well. Oh, there's the assembler. Because what we could end up doing here is... How wide is that? It's on 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7... 3, so we would basically grab some plates. We've got a bunch of plates in storage here. Come here, you. So let's grab those really quick. And so what I'm thinking is we do, say, so let's go something like that, and we'll end up with a gear. So we'd end up with the landing gear, say, like there, on both sides. And then back here, we'll be able to build this out a little bit, maybe even put a second jump drive on it. Oh, we end up with engineering section. Yeah, we can end up with an engineering section. Because if we take these out, put a second jump drive in. So if we do second jump drive, because remember, I wanted 2 jump drives on this. That'll give us a second jump drive. We'll be able to build out a room on it. And if we do the room within this open area right here, take those atmospheric thrusters off. Oh, that gives us a platform because we can build forward far enough for the 2 landing gear here to be brought into play. Basically where the landing gear are would be the walls for the room. And we could get away with doing slopes.
Meteor storm inbound.
On off to one side so that we basically have room to walk in or walk around. Do I have room for all this? Yeah. Oh, hello. Nice to know the turrets work. Alright, so what I'm thinking here is we do something like this, which goes to something like that. So if we do something like this, right? We could even go so far as that. Maybe. So this is going to come back around that way.
Energy low.
And then on the exterior of the ship, we have something like this. Which allows us to then do that. And hell, we could, if we wanted to be really funny about it, so I could say something like this. And that blocks that all in. And we have say something like that. That comes as far forward as we need it to in order to get in and out of here. Oh, that actually works pretty well. Right. So what did we do there? We did this to go forward.
Energy critical.
So what did we do? We did one, two, and then turn, 1, 2, and turn. And then what that will give us is a place to walk around inside. Gives us a little bit of detail out in the front. And gives us a place to build out our landing gear area. So what we would do here is Can I get away with this? Unable to place. If I go...
No energy. Your health is low. Energy low.
Hey, I didn't die. It's okay. All right. So if we did something like that, I mean, we've even got some room in here. I don't necessarily have to. I do kind of have to do that. I guess not. I guess I could get away with just saying, if we wanted to just go like that, there's nothing stopping us from doing that. So if we did that, and then we said, we could actually get away with a pretty impressive amount of bullcrap. Because we just have to go. Because that's going to come out anyway, so I'm not going to worry too much about that. But if we went with, say, something like that, really? Alright, so if we did something like this. Alright. So if we did something like that. How about if we did this on the exterior? Gives us something back here to work with. And then something like so, like so. And again, all just placeholder blocks. It'll really come down to how do we want to do the the overall design theme for it. But it's something that works. But just to give you an idea, you know, we can make this airtight back here. So if we go like a so. We can even have this loop up and around if we want it to. I don't know. I think what I would probably do is go ahead and just block all of this off. I don't know. So let me know what you think down in the comments below, because this episode has gone quite a distance. What I'm wondering is would we want it to... I'd kind of like it to circle back the other way. Because I mean, I guess I could have it do something like this. And then we go... go there. And we're basically just gonna interior plates. Which is good because, you know, we have plenty of stuff here. Let's grab those. Okay. So you end up with something that goes a little something like that. You can walk around. We end up with our, say, engineering section here. Maybe even a, like a, not necessarily a battle bridge, but you know, basically an under area, like an observation deck on the bottom of the ship. That way you can see what's going on as far as like docking is concerned. So if you have multiple people and you're playing in first person only, or you know, you're just not certain, we could actually put a flight chair down here just for docking purposes, like if you're landing. That might not be a bad idea. I'm kind of liking that idea. Alright, so I'm going to put some more thought into it. I'm going to call this one here. I want to thank you all for stopping in. Hopefully you enjoyed it. If you did, hit that like button. If you're new to the channel, haven't done so already, or just want to do something nice for me on this beautiful Friday after... Well, like I said before, it's probably morning or afternoon, depending on when you see it. But on this beautiful Friday, be sure to hit the subscribe button. If you want to be kept up to date with what's going on around here and be notified when the content comes out, be sure to ring the bell. And as always, folks, take care and be safe out there, everybody. Oh, it's going to be a long weekend. Oof. Lots and lots of stuff to do on this thing yet. And then after it's done, I have to duplicate it. Alright, have a great week, everybody. See you next time.